So it's time Lotus gets the first video for the non-featured new units. I'll probably make a Red Yami and Mars one tomorrow, I guess. I mean, people still pulled for Red Yami, and it's right before Midnight Sun, so yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Red Yami is going to get extra stocks, but now this is the Lotus video. So let's talk about why Lotus is so busted real quick. Basically, he is the best debuffer, and he's blue, which helps him in PvE, making him very good. He has a double AoE, which is very strong, applying many debuffs that are going to slow people down and make him take a lot more damage. And yeah, no, this guy overall just very good. And it's funny because they built him with his passives a bit off of also magic attack increase, where he could also do very good damage. And since he's AoE, there are cases where you will see him do a lot of damage to people and just the whole teams in general. So let's get right into it. What do his skills do, and which skills should you be upgrading? So skill 1 is going to be a AoE that has a 50% chance to apply a 15% reduced mobility debuff on the enemies. And then at level 5, you're getting an extra 5%, bringing it up to 20%. Now, 20% debuff reduction is like a good 1 turn or 2 turn setback in the whole turn order on like the right. And it's very good. I'm not talking about 2 like full turns. Not like 2, it's just like you're going back 2 places in the tier, I guess. It could set back whole teams though, and it's very strong. Damage-wise, not the craziest, but very good. Now, the skill 2 I really do like, where it extends debuffs on the enemies and reduces their damage resistance, so they're going to be taking more damage. The debuffs are lasting longer, and with this skill page, it's going to also add a concentrated attack where it's going to take damage as if it's a crit hit, so that's also going to further increase damage, but that's only for 1 turn, so it's very situational. Now, the ultimate is going to be applying incapacitate to everyone guaranteed, has a chance to remove all buffs from an enemy. So let's say for Mars, for example, he applies debuff block for 1 turn. You could remove that buff and then also have a chance to apply these buffs on top of it sometimes, so very good. Then you also have a 50% chance to reduce speed by 55%, which makes this one of the best ults in the game, increasing damage, removing buffs, and increasing speed. Then you're also able to get the buff removal up to 60% chance to remove it, but I wish it was like 10 and 10 to get it up to 70. It would have been much better, but at least now you have more than a 1 in 2 chance, so that's good enough. Now, his combo also is pretty good, where it's going to be having a 60% chance to reduce mobility by 20%, which makes it better than the skill 1. So if you want to use this combo with someone, it's pretty good. Then even his combo with Mars is very good, and where he guaranteed applies speed reduction. So that's very good when you put that in unison with Mars, who also has his own debuffs. But this part, the way you would use it is you ult with Lotus and then you combo with Mars, so that whoever didn't get the speed reduction gets it now. Or you could immediately start off with a speed reduction if you want to get the guarantee and just slow everyone down. It's very strong. You could do it in whatever way you want, and it's good. So in terms of the skills you want to upgrade, I'd say getting this one to level 5 is the most important, because the extra 5% mobility could change a lot of stuff, and I would recommend doing that. And then the skill, or the ultimate, getting it at least to level 3 is what I'd say. Then the skill 2 doesn't really matter. It's really only the skill 1 and the ult. And then the combo, if you want to do a bit more damage, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea at all, but I don't like fully recommend it, but it's decent. Now, passives. His magic attack, or his passive, is just magic attack increased by 12%. Nothing too crazy, but damage-wise is decent. Then his enhanced passive, his dupe passive, is going to be that he has a 25% chance to inflict a 10% reduced all attack debuff on the enemy for 2 turns, or for 1 turn, sorry. And then here it's a 12% chance my bad. It goes to 35% chance to inflict a 12% reduced all attack. I don't think it's the craziest passive, but still, just even 1 turn of a reduced all attack is pretty decent. Now, the stats he gets are not that crazy. I would have wanted more defense and HP and no more attack. Just because they have the magic attack passive, take out attack, put HP, and then we're good. That's what I would have wanted. Should you dupe? I mean, if you want to, go ahead and use the dupes we get from the worlds, or also from Mage's Path. We get 1 dupe in Mage's Path here for for a standard unit. Over here, I don't have access to it, but you could choose a dupe of one of them. And I could say that William is probably better to dupe out, or Lotus. But if you want to dupe out Lotus as because you don't have them or something, then go ahead. Or because you're using him more, then I would say getting him to dupe 2 is a pretty decent idea, right? It's not bad, but I don't think you should chase it or use universal dupes on him. Now, as for skill pages, let's open that up. I think, yes, this is the right page. His best in slot is this, reason being the speed reduction. It's a lot crazier than it actually seems, because even 2% speed reduction, right, for 25% chance is crazy. It's on all of his skills, even on his skill 2. So for bosses and stuff like that, you could also have the speed reduction, which 2% does numbers. Okay, now the main reason it does numbers is because of how speed works. Speed increases the mobility gauge, okay, and the mobility gauge, once it reaches 100%, you attack, and it's depending on how much your speed is, it's going to fill it a certain amount. If two DPSs are both at 103, okay, most DPSs in the game are at 103 speed. Lotus, okay, even reducing speed by 2% makes it so that your DPS is going to get the little bit extra mobility that they need to attack first. That's it. That's the main reason why it's good. Even 2% is really good. Now, it also adds the concentrated attack, and that in itself is just a really good thing to have. The guaranteed crit, so that's the best one. Now, other ones is the Rails, which applies defense reduction. Charlotte's, which applies crit resistance reduce, which means you have a higher chance to crit. This one, if you want to do more damage, right, and it's free. Now, this one is for Season 5, okay, but it is going to be very good, even just to put on him, just cause, right, it's just a really strong skill page. And then these two to block stuns, okay, they both block stuns, and if you do get stunned, you get healed. So that's basically how it works. Those are the ones I would recommend. If you want to go a more defensive build on him, then you could put that SSR defense one that we have. Where is it? I'm trying to find it, but the SSR defense one, that's right here. Yep, you could put this, and then in the future, this one too will be very good in where it's going to be applying. This is only in the future, Season 3, maybe they won't even bring it because it's too toxic. So it applies increased damage resistance to yourself, and then if it's max duped, okay, and there's a debuff on the enemy before you attack, you can't be the one applying the debuffs, but technically after like the second time he attacks, right, which won't be the skill 2, right, second time he attacks, he's going to be able to get taunt on the whole team if there's a debuff. Every person who has a debuff that you attack gets a guaranteed taunt, and what taunt does is it stops you from buffing. So, you know, this is another very good skill, just being able to apply AoE taunt, right? So not really much bad to really say there, right? So yeah, those are the skill pages, but definitely best in slot for him right now is that. So as for the skills, or just the talents, my bad, I would say that the best are going to be these two, because you want to get the magic attack, right, especially since he's already scaling off of that. Or you could go for the damage and crit damage build, but I don't think crit damage is going to be that crazy on him. Then for this, you could go for either these two, so defense and then debuff immunity, or defense and then extra defense here with crit res. Then for this one, I would recommend the SP plus 1, because it's just the best thing to put on anyone. And then the increased blocking, damage, yeah, damage resistance is blocking, so yes. Now, I gave him the plus 3 speed just so we could be quicker than my Blue Yami, because my Blue Yami is getting buffed by my William for speed, and I would like for my Lotus to be there. Now, that's obviously just a Whales thing, but you don't need that. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Clear it out the way. You don't need that. Not really something that's necessary at all. Now, for defense, this is basically the best thing you can run for him on global. Okay, now you're either going for 4 set speed with 2 set defense, or 4 set speed with 2 set attack, so that you're able to get more damage in. If you want to do more damage, I really don't mind that. Now, as for what stat you want to have for your attack stats, you want to have magic attack, and then obviously the rest is just kind of built in HP and defense. It is how it is. For substats, going for defense, magic attack are definitely the best play. I wouldn't go for like too much damage. It's really like HP, magic, and defense are the 3 main ones. You know, anything else is fine. Like crit res obviously is really good on everyone, so just like little stuff like that. As for these on top, definitely go for the defense pieces if you get accessories. So yeah, now on JP though, when we get the set, it's going to be 4 set speed with 2 set of this one. Now what does it do? Let's go back over. I have it translated, and yes, so what does it do? The 2 set is going to be making it so that when you're attacking an enemy with more than 80% mobility, there's a 20% chance to increase the cooldown of enemy's skill 2 by 1 turn. So even if they're at 0 turns, even if they could use their skill 2, it's going to apply a 1 turn cooldown. Well, 20% chance to apply the 1 turn cooldown, which is way better than increasing your defense, right? Now the 4 set is good, but you want to make sure that he's quick enough, right? You want to build him with the 4 set speed so he's able to go first, right? So he's able to attack before everyone, get the debuffs and get them rolling. So yeah, that's why the 4 set isn't that crazy, but for PvE, the 4 set is definitely going to be very good. But for PvP, definitely you want 4 set speed so he could attack first. That's his whole mojo, right? Now, as for teams, obviously, we all know his best linking partner, just to start off. Did I mean to go into guild? Did I even check in today? I did check in. Let's go. Big W on my part. So, as for the guild, right, or not guild, as for the team, I would say these two are just inherently built into a lot of teams. Then you could run this team. This team I find very fun, where you have these two. Then William is applying the damage reduction turn 1 with also the counter. Red Yami's countering, they're not taking any damage. Then you get to these turns and then they're going crazy because they're not getting debuff because of Mars debuff immunity. So you can run a team like that. Or even, hell, I mean, like, keeping these two together, right, is a pretty good option. You could put, like, Blue Yami with William, right, just change the DPS. I'd say, like, these 3 blues together are very good. But even Lotus and Mars, just separately, if you want to put with, like, a Mimosa and Red Yami, right, just anything. Like, you slap them on to any team and they just work. Now, if you don't have, not Red Yami, if you don't have Mars, hell, even a team like this could work, right? Lotus is very versatile in that he works in pretty much every single team comp. Now for the blue team, obviously the best one, I'll mention it, would be this for late game, and then you would switch Fauna when she comes out. But this would be the best one for late game. Obviously Charmy could go for here, and then, you know, that Charmy's voice is actually W, man, W voice. So yeah, no, Lotus, very good. You slap him onto any team if you want to do more damage, right? He could serve as your damage buffer, I guess, in a way, because he's making them take more damage by 50%. So yeah, now you could also do a double debuffer roll where you could do this, then you put Voltos, okay, then you put Red Asta, and obviously this team only works if there's no Mars. But how it works, Voltos puts you up to 100 mobility, 100% mobility, makes it so you're attacking next, okay. Lotus debuffs, Charlotte debuffs, and Charlotte also applies the marks guaranteed at level 4, which means that if Asta kills anyone, he gets an extra turn. And because there's the incapacitate level 3, I think, by 50% extra damage, 60% defense, right? Then he's going to be able to kill, right? And that's basically GG, and he's going to be able to get a bunch of extra turns every time he kills someone. So this type of team also is going to be very fun that I will try out in the future. But yeah, that's Lotus, man. Just godly unit, bro.